Good day to you, and what a day it is, for I have a special treat for us today. This is the Dissident 2017 Reserve by Deschutes Brewery over in Oregon. Now first thing I'll note, this was an expensive bottle at $25 Canadian for just a single, I believe it's a liter. It's in Imperial. I don't know Imperial fluid ounces that well. 1 pint, 6 fluid ounces, probably close to 750 mils, probably. Roughly. I never learned that kind of Imperial. Anyway, this is by Deschutes Brewery, which I've had their porter before, and if I recall, it was good. I believe I had it a long time ago, though, so I can't really recall. This is fermented with wild yeast. So, unlike, say, packaged yeast that's, factory bred, I guess, this is made from the wild stuff that's floating about on the walls, air, wherever. I'm sure there's a method to the madness, but yes, you can actually get yeast through many different ways. After all, that's how we first got yeast and was able to factory create it. Anyway, fermented with wild yeast. We have to isolate this brew so as to not influence the others. Otherwise, we might just have anarchy on our hands. Here's to solitary confinement and shared exploration. It also mentions it's brewed with cherries and aged in oak. So this is going to be an interesting one, all right. Now, it doesn't say what kind of beer it is aside from that on the bottle. I have looked it up, and apparently it is Belgian-inspired. So this should be a real treat. And the first thing I notice is that it doesn't really, well, it has a wax seal over the top, so you know it's fancy. Consequently, I can probably tear it off with my nails. Or, let's get my trusty pocket knife and tear this sucker off. Alright, there we go. So that was a bit of an ordeal. If this was a regular bottle of beer, that would have been a point against it. But this is a special occasion beer. It even bottles the exact day it was bottled on. October 28th, 2017. So we're getting close to this being a year old. Anyway, first thing I noticed is when I was even just cutting it open there, I could definitely smell a strong scent of cherries. And definitely a Belgian-y smell for beer. Very, it's hard to describe. You know what I mean. But mostly cherries. Now, I have had cherry beers before. In Germany, they actually have quite a few beers that are mixed with cherries. Germany's a little obsessed with cherries in general. Just want to make sure I don't get any flakes of wax in there. But those ones are like pure cherries in beer. They're a little sour usually. This looks a bit more moderated. So it's a dark amber color. Very fizzy, like it's loud. I don't know if you can hear it. It's like hissing like crazy. So the head is dissipating quite fast. Now I see what I mean. Now I see what it means by wild yeast. Someone's causing a freaking riot there. Just like the bottle, it smells a little sour, mostly cherry, of course. There's a very hint of sourness in it, but cherries tend to create that scent in things they're put in. All right, let's try it out. Oh. Wow. That is complex. Whew. Wow. Primary taste is, of course, cherries, and I definitely get a bit of a Belgian blonde kind of flavor to it, which I can't really describe in a profile, but if you've had one Belgian blonde, you know what I mean. I can think of one way to describe it, but it makes it sound bad, so I won't say it. Because this is no, I was just referring to Belgian blondes in general. This is a very good beer, and definitely worth trying. Even regarding the price tag, it's quite expensive for a single, but it's a special limited edition, so yeah, and I'm not being let down whatsoever right now. Right when you swallow it, there's an intense wave of pleasure that washes over you. And it's not something you get from just any old beer. This one is brewed with care, and it shows in the beer. Even though I can only really describe the primary flavor, cherries, there's a complexity to this that's worth checking out and seeing for yourself. Or perhaps it's just high in alcohol content. Let me just... Oh, 10.5% alcohol by volume. So it might just be a heavy amount of alcohol in it, but for the amount that's in that, and that's a lot, I can't really taste the alcohol. So I'm leaning towards the beer being complex rather than just high in alcohol. If you've never had cherry beer before, give this a shot, because you might not, if you're not familiar with it, you might not think they go well together, but they really, really do. I'm saying this as someone who's not necessarily the biggest fan of cherries. I like them well enough, but I never go out of my way to eat them. I'd go out of my way to drink this, though. This is a beer to be savored slowly and with deep thought. It's probably one of the best I've had on the show, so I'll say that much. It's not something I can buy just any day, though, especially since it's limited edition. Maybe they'll bring it back and do another round of it this year. We'll see. But for now, I'll be enjoying this while it lasts. And I implore you, if you see this in your liquor store, give it a shot. It's really worth it. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this. Finish off the rest of it. I've still got quite a bit to go. But and I really mean it. I'm going to enjoy this. Cheers.